Good evening, all. Hope you're well. I'm back from my week off. Hope you're all good. Well, welcome to round 2 today of the GT3 League for CXR. And today, as usual, I have Phil and Ruben with me.
Hello.
Good
Hello.
Hello,
evening,
boys.
both.
The Euro GT3 Championship.
It's the Euro GT3, virtual Euro
Well,
GT3
Mark,
Championship, I
Mark,
might add.
don't worry about it. Even Phil said it wrong. It's his own league, but even he said it wrong last
Did I
week.
say-
So I mean,
Did I say JTE last week?
you
Might.
no, you
Probably
said
GT
No,
round 4 or whatever.
Phil went from GT3 Euro Champion, Euro GT. Well, yeah, the Euro.
It's a GT3 Championship, that's it. CXR, job done.
Good evening.
Oh, so how are we, boys? Missed me last week?
Not really.
Yeah, not really. No.
Well, that's not what the comments said, I might add. But there you go.
I didn't see any comments.
The ones I typed in after.
Right. Your own comment.
So we're in sunny Kent, and yeah, I've raced around this track on my motorbike a couple of times. Quite a demanding circuit, actually. But we're on the GP one, which is the longer version. So championship standings from week 1. Morgan Thompson taking the win. Yellow Peter Hoogland in second, and Josh Johnson having a good run out there in third. So we're back down to one division of 30-odd drivers. Top 20 getting points. So those who finish, hopefully, will see a return on their start. So how was it last week generally? Good standard?
Yeah, it was a really good race actually. Everyone's just starting to roll out on the qualifying outlaps now. So yeah, we can you going over that. But yeah, the race last week was really good. It was a good show from all the drivers, to be honest.
Yeah, great overtakes, great battling for different positions on track, like the top 3 to, I think we saw some great battles for, like, say, P7, P8, P9, but also further down the field still. I think for 30 minutes long, we saw a train of like 6-7 cars for P15 or P14, whatever it was. And just like 30 minutes, all within 1 second of each other continuously. So yeah, it was... in general, was really good race. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Good stuff. So did we ban the Spaniards from entering this then? Because I can't see any Spaniards in this one, considering it was dominated last season.
Yeah, I don't really understand how we had so many Spaniards last season and not one this season. I mean, we've got one guy from Argentina, but he's not racing tonight, unfortunately. He should be back next week with us. But yeah, no Spanish Armada this season.
We'll see a few more UK boys on the map then, won't we? Just running through the list, we've got our usuals, the likes of, well, Morgan Thompson, obviously. Yellow Peter Hoogland, we've got, I'm just reading through, Chris Needham, Matt Acton, Arnold Chalignat, Kieran Smart. So we've got a lot of the guys that are regulars now. Oh, I presume it'd be Dean. I'm loving the new graphics, by the way, Phil.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, well,
very nice.
I think we still got about 7 or 8 new drivers in this championship, which is always good to see. And like we said last week as well, we've got some drivers who competed in the MX-5s or the GT4s. Didn't do GTE, but came back for the GT3, so yeah, that's very nice to see. But we're on the old school Brands Hatch GP track. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it suits these cars. I presume it'd be pretty good. There's no massive straights on this track. It's all about carrying some speed through the corners and being smooth, really, on this track. Got the famous Paddock Hill bend, turn 1. That'll sort the men out from the boys.
Yeah, it sure will. I'm looking forward to seeing, well, hopefully everyone gets around that nicely today, shall we say.
I'm sure they will. It's not a Monza, is it? So it's not 200 mile an hour into a first gear bend. So,
in all honesty, last week we were hoping the same for a Rouge in that one, and that went well. So I probably jinxed it now, didn't I?
I think you probably have just.
Oh, cheers for the follow. So currently we've got Adam on pole position. Well, we've got 25 minutes of qualifying, so
Plenty of time to talk.
I
Plenty
was
of
just
time
about to say,
chat.
we got a lot of talking. Good job you're with us tonight in room, isn't it? So,
Well, I mean, we did it last week, so I'll leave it all up to you, mate. Me and Phil will chill, relax,
wore
lean
yourself
back.
out, did you?
Just for a second, take a look at the track map. Like, it's pretty cool.
All those cars. Well, they're pretty spread out as well.
Yeah, they're pretty spread out, which is pretty cool to see.
How many runners and riders we got tonight? 30 odd?
I believe there was 27 odd.
Good turnout. No points for the first 20, I assume, is normal.
Yeah, points for the
No,
top 10.
no divisions,
top 10.
so it's free for all, so to speak.
Or an overall championship, as we like to say.
Free for all sounds a little bit like Destruction Derby or something.
Yeah.
It's nice to see some fezzes on the track as well, compared to last season's GTEs having a couple.
Yeah, there's quite a few actually. I would say there's probably nearly 10 Ferraris.
Yeah, quite a lot of BMWs.
What have we got then? We've got McLaren's, Beamers, so is that the 8 Series, is it?
No, the Z4.
Oh, is it the Z4?
The 8 Series is the GTE car.
Oh, okay, so they don't have a GT3 version. Well, we've got McLaren's. Mercs is the big one we're watching now, isn't it? The SLS or whatever it's called. No Porsches in?
No, Porsche don't have a GT3. So we've got the BMW, the Mercedes, the Ferrari, the McLaren, and the Audi.
So I'm just having a look. So Morgan Thompson won. He's in a McLaren last week. Okay. Okay. Well, be interesting to see how these cars perform against each other.
See on the videos there, Ellie Mahler, sun's out, guns out. Got his Pimax on, loving life. I think every driver, I don't know, Kieran Smart isn't in VR, Kieran.
Well, Billy Fletcher isn't as well. I think he's on triples.
Like he was just having a chat to the missus a second ago, so.
Yeah, probably asking for tea.
And that's what it is, tea and biscuits.
I need tea and biscuits.
Yeah. I'm the one that is a Dutch guy.
What gives that away?
I don't
The
know.
freaky deaky Dutch, that's why.
Our new follower just asked in chat, is someone of you guys Dutch speaking? Yes, I am. Got my fellow Englishmen here inside me that they don't appreciate it if I'm going to talk Dutch. So. Well, looking at the qualifying times, it's Morgan Thompson in provisional pole position, and he just sets a better lap time of 1:22.6. Adam Southgate is on P2 with 1:22.8 and 1:22.9. Again, it's looking really, really close to competitors. So.
Well, it's a long window to fill in, isn't it? 20 minutes? 25 minutes?
25 minutes. It's not. To be honest, it kind of flew by last week. And it gives all the drivers that chance to get out and actually try and put a lap in, because there were quite short laps where you're looking at 1:22s around here. So it gives everybody that chance. You can not go out for the first 10 minutes and still get a nice lap in.
Yep.
So,
That helps with the spreading out of the field as well, doesn't it?
Exactly,
They don't have to panic and pile out, do they? So what sort of times are we looking at today, Ruben?
Say that again?
I said, what sort of times are we going to be looking at on the track today?
Oh, well, I think going up from the practice sessions we had on Monday and Tuesday, I think the top, say, 4 or 5, we're going to see mid to high 22s, I reckon. And then, I guess, quite a lot of drives in the 123s and the 124s. I think it's looking pretty much the same as we see with the lap times in qualifying right now.
Miles Owens stacks it into Sec 3.
And
So
I
that
tell
won't
you
be.
what, it's not the first one I've seen that doing in qualifying. Quite a lot of people just take a little bit of the grass there, stamp on the brakes, and yeah, that's all she wrote.
So the only two so far for 122, Morgan Thompson and Adam Southgate, both CXR Project Black drivers. With Dion Phillips. Oh no, to light, he's just gone in, so that's a 122.95 as well. So we've got three. Arnold Chanier's done a 123 dead. Good man. Good lap.
I think you're right, by the way. I don't think there's an Audi on track today.
Ooh, is that the only other car in the class, was it, that's missing?
Yep.
Oh.
It only puts the exit on the 26.
Give us an Essex accent. Give us the old London accent at least.
Well, how should I know, mate?
How should you...
White Gov, innit?
Well, no,
blood.
I mean, Phil did some good commentary yesterday. Sort of mimicking an old school F1 commentator, Phil.
Bit of Murray Walker action for everybody.
Yeah, it was good. That was good.
Ruben was like, why don't you commentate like this on Wednesday nights?
Yeah. Oh, that's not good, mate. I hope it's not like food poisoning.
Difference between and Ollie Marler at the moment is 1,000th of a second.
Yeah. I mean, but even looking further down or further up, we've got Jason Hennington with a 124.025, then Neil Goodacre with a 124.061, and then Chris Neal with a 124.076. So I mean, three other people in the 123.6s, two in the 123.5. So yeah, it's really close. The only person standing out so far is Morgan Thompson with a 122.6 still.
That was a nice little shot of Ben Johnson just navigating his way around the grass.
Scenic route.
Yeah. Helping out the ground staff. Acton just put the fastest time as well, put himself into P10. Forster could be on a faster lap. Two green sectors. Wasn't faster.
No, the track temp went up a little bit. It's 24 degrees now. In practice that we had before this qualifying session, it was 22, so it's not a big difference, but it can make the difference of a couple of hundredths or tenths of a second. Well, even if you're new to iRacing, just keep doing what you're doing. Put in those races and...
yeah, one of the key things when you're new to iRacing is don't worry about losing your iRating, don't worry about like anything, just race. Like enjoy why you spend so much money racing. Easier said than done. You don't want to have those bad races where you crash out and you lose all your iRating and feel like crap for the week, but don't worry about it. Just keep going. Just like it'll come.
Well, how long did you felt like crap when you did Bathurst then, mate?
Oh, I'm still feeling like crap.
I mean, there was just not one race, there was a whole week.
I'm still having flashbacks from racing the MX-5s when I first started. They're just psychos.
No, but it's like Phil says, you sometimes just have those races where things don't go your way, and it is what it is, but...
So just over halfway now. Morgan Thompson still showing the rest of the teams how to do it in pole with a 122.6. Adam Southgate currently still second on a 122.88. Oh, showing a third. Good lap from him there, a 122.9. And Dion Phillips just moving down to fourth with a 122.95. The others yet to break that 123.
So last week at Spa we had that amazing battle for the top three between Morgan Thompson, Just Johnson and Jelle Pieter Hoogland. don't think Josh Johnson is driving tonight. Jelle Pieter Hoogland is, but he's currently in P6.
Fortunately, Josh could not make this race tonight, so scoring some good points. Yeah, some good points last week, so he's going to have to try and make up for the rest of the season, I guess.
Yeah. But still, it looks like Jelle Pieter Hoogland is struggling a little bit, and he's on a 123.4, so he's 8 seconds, or sorry, 8 tenths of the time of Morgan. But then again, some people can just set an amazing quali lap, and race pace is different, or the other way around. Some people aren't that strong in qualifying, but have an amazing, consistent race pace. So, and with 45 minutes of racing, as we know, a lot. I think that's Morgan Thompson just hitting the back there of. I think it's.
Is he on fire?
Or John Trester. I think he was trying to get out of the way of Morgan.
Yeah, I think he just didn't see him till a little bit too late, so...
Look at those flames. Brilliant.
Yeah, and now we can see the sausages again.
Sausages.
So,
I suppose we better give a quick shout out to our race control guys. We haven't mentioned them yet today, have we?
Have him?
Who have we got? Is it the usual? Is it Neil and Aaron?
The usual suspects.
So they'll be sorting out any misdemeanors on site as the race progresses. So evening to them. One of them thankless tasks like being a referee.
And there we see one of the drivers who's having a great qualifying so far, Arnaud Chalonier, who's currently put himself in P3 provisional with a 122.8. So seems like he's enjoying this track car combo. Good qualifying lap.
So we got 2 McLarens, a BMW, Ferrari, 2 BMWs. Top 6. And nearest other McLaren is down in P22 at the moment.
Is that a relatively new addition? Because I don't recall McLaren's been in the GT3 class.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's been
Have
there
they?
for a long
Since the
time.
original? Oh.
A while. Yeah, a long while.
I was obviously just blind with the Ferrari badge.
Yeah. You were.
Still pick a Ferrari over a McLaren, but there you go.
So about 8 minutes left of qualifying. Well, I think with the track time slowly going up, people that have set their fastest lap time early on in qualifying will probably benefit the most of it.
Yeah, I think so. If the track temp continues to go up, they're probably not going to get any better times in.
No. But then again, if you, like Mark said, you don't have that much long straights. But still, if you're able to keep within a second of a car in front of you and just get a little bit of the draft, it can just give you a couple of tenths on your lap time, as long as you don't suffer on the break-in zones. Yuri saying the best thing about last week was my engine blowing at the start. Well, I think technically it was even before the start, but yeah, that was not really nice for you. But
No one likes to see that.
no. And good evening, Adrian Pixel, and good evening to everybody watching.
Kenneth Andreassen's on a good lap here, it seems. 3 green sectors. Just a little over the line, but it didn't count, so I would say that there must have been an off track somewhere.
Yeah. Well,
That is
Benjamin
definitely an
Johnson.
off track.
That's not gonna help. Benjamin Johnson though with 3 green sectors as well and a 4th sector. He put puts himself in P7, so he jumped from P9 to P7 with 123.463, only 3,000 of a second behind Yellow Pokemon.
He messaged me saying he wasn't enjoying driving the car, and as he hadn't scored any points, I've allowed him to switch since it's only on week 2. But yeah, ideally I don't really want people changing cars because there's a lot of admin work that goes into making the overlays, etc., with your actual correct car livery, all your details, etc. It has to be manually entered in. Someone goes way off track there.
Yeah, that was Dan Carpenter. Again, taking a little bit of grass, and it turned the back of his car straight into a wall.
They're coming into the last 5 minutes now, so it's still as you were. Morgan Thompson on pole, Adam Southgate joining him on the front row. Arnold Chanier and Dion Phillips taking the second row. Interesting to see, realistically, they've got 3 laps left.
Yeah, and during the race I'm expecting a little bit more from Duncan Kirby, just purely based on what I've seen him doing in practice sessions. I think he's just struggling a little bit to put a really good lap time in qualifying. But currently he's in P5 with a 123.2. But going off the times he did yesterday, he would have had a P2, so with the white wheels. These races are, yeah, let's call them sprint races. It's a 45-minute race, so I don't really want to call it an endurance. Maybe it's between, is it semi-endurance? Well, how do we call this, Phil? Mark? I mean, a sprint race, you would think more like 30 minutes.
A sprint race is without a pit stop, isn't it?
Without a pit stop, yeah.
So, I suppose technically it's an endurance race, or as we call it, it's a 45-minute race with a pit stop. So, there you go, that's what it is.
I mean, if I'm thinking of endurance, I'm thinking of
it's a couple of hours, isn't it?
At least 2 hours,
yeah.
Or the 3-hour VRS races.
It's a mini endurance.
Oh, and it does look like Billy is in the chat as well, Billy Fletcher, which is pretty obvious with his name, Billy Fletcher Racer. But he had some personal things with his little one.
You better tell her to pull her finger out then. Oh, I don't know, it's hot Pete.
Yeah. And then again, it looks like he's starting from the back, so it'll be a fun race though. Trying to get through guys in front. I reckon in these last couple of minutes we don't really see position changes. On board, Gary Smart, who's driving the Ferrari with the McLaren livery that put off Phil last week a little bit.
It sure did. Confused the hell out of me.
And Kieran Smart, who was doing an amazing job in the GTE season last season in the AM class.
Yeah, I believe he finished second, didn't he, in the GT AM class. So
yeah, I think
really good season. Really good season for him. Honoured Shannon is still out on track, he is.
So this is looking like a race that's going to start in the morning, Phil? In-game?
Yeah, so about
race time?
9:15 in the morning, the race starts.
So last week it was sort of a evening race, and it went dark in, say, the last 10-5 minutes, or really dark. We're not going to see that today, but still, I think Brands Hatch GP is a really good track for some nice action.
So we're entering the last lap window. Still got over half the track out. Sorry, half the cars out on track still.
Half the track's out on cars.
Yeah, I know. It's been one of them days today. It's been a very long day. So there's still time to squeeze a quick one in. Looks like Morgan Thompson's had enough for the session, so he's in the pit at the moment, so he won't be coming out.
Looking at Karen Smart coming through the last turn onto the straight. Doesn't have time to do one more lap and 123.4 jumps up to P6.
Yeah.
So well done to Karen.
Good last
lap.
last minute job there.
Yeah.
Just having a quick look down the bottom there. Nobody's on a fast lap at the moment. All oranges.
And as Marsden taking a bit of a spin, Mathieu Jambrine halfway through the lap. Beautiful white McLaren.
I was going to say his trading paint's not working for a second.
I think he's just opted for pure white livery.
Taxi.
It's one of the hardest liveries on the whole of
Taxi, yeah.
iRacing to paint, though, to be fair. So
What, white?
no, the McLaren.
Jesus.
Well, you have all the experience, Phil.
You smash him out quick, Phil.
There we have Duncan Kirby coming across the line, but he stays in P5 with the 123.2. Dennis Meisner coming into the pit as well. So I think that's everybody done. I don't think anybody else is running on a lap.
For the qualifying, the race will start in approximately 2 minutes time, or 3 minutes time, I believe. Waiting for the qualifying results to come through, and we'll get them on screen for everybody.
Should be just enough time for Ruben to rattle through them, I would have thought. Really.
My big screen, mate.
You got a big one, have you, Ruben?
Oh, mine's so big. Wait, what are we talking about?
Your screen.
Yeah, mate. Nice new setup. So
Well,
there we have the qualifying results. It's Morgan Thompson with a pole position with a 122.6. In P2 we've got Adam Southgate, P3 Arnaud Chardonnay, P4 Dion Phillips, P5 Duncan Kirby, P6 Kieran Smart, P7 Jelle Pieter Hoogland, P8 Benjamin Johnson, P9 Matthew Hodges, P10 Daniel Merchant, P11 Dan Carpenter, P12 Matt Acton, P13 Jason Hennington, P14 Chris Needham, P15 Neil Goodacre, P16 Dominic Verster, P17 Kenneth Andreessen, P18 John Thresher, P19 Dennis Meisner, P20 Miles Owens. Then in P21 we've got Matthew Dambreen, P22 it's David Meekin, P23 Damien Chafe, P24 Ollie Marler, P25 Jess White, P26 Jonas Gillis, P27 Kieran Williams, P28 David Pedersen, and in P29 who didn't settle that time is Billy Fletcher rounding up. So in the end we've got 29 people on track.
Yeah, it should be a good race. Just
Let's go.
everyone's gridding up right now.
So we've got a full pace lap.
Yeah, it is a full pace lap here. Either that, it's a standing start, and I'm about to go. Oh no!
Oh, that was so funny. Was it the GT4s at Donington?
I believe it was. There is a safety car there though, so everything is saved. Rolling off now. I just got a new keyboard. It's doing all these weird light things, and I just don't know what it's doing.
Ooh, I've got one that shows up pretty colours too. I find it quite hypnotic, actually.
Yeah, it's quite nice to
randomly
look at.
changes.
Now the top half is lit in red, and the bottom half isn't, so I don't know what that's all about.
Well, yeah, mine scrolls. I've got all my F keys in one colour, all the other keys in another, keypad in another. Very pretty.
Right, so who's calling the winner? What we putting our money on today then?
Well, normally if yourself or Ruben guess, it normally crashes, so feel free. They'll all be going, don't pick me, don't pick me.
Not entirely true. I think I had one race where I pretty much called it good. No, just purely based on everything I've seen so far, I would go for Morgan Thompson. But somehow, somewhere, it would be very nice to see Arnaud Chanonier doing well as well, especially since he put himself in P3. So, yeah. That's the two people I'm calling, sort of.
So who do you want to crash in, Phil? I mean, win?
I mean, who I want to win is Morgan, really. I mean, he's putting so much practice this week, so he does deserve it. Outside of CXL Project Black, Arnaud Chanonier, that's an amazing qualification for him. Dion Phillips as well, Privateer, and then we've got Kieran Smart just behind them as well. So they're all worthy winners, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I do agree on the practice. It's insane how much practice Morgan put in this week.
It sounds like he's hot favourite then. Good job we're not bookies then.
I'm going to
go for a Duncan Kirby podium. That's my prediction today. So something a little different.
Kirby on the podium. I know Morgan did over 70 laps just in one session.
Wow.
Quite impressive. But anyway, it looks like we're about to go around the final corner and the race is about to start. So, pulls away and we're waiting for Morgan to get us underway. Have a green light.
Off. So it is Dion Phillips on the outside of Arnaud Chanonier going into Paddock Hill Bend, and there is some contact between the two.
Go back and take a look at that in a second. I think most people have got round.
Everybody else did, apart from Dion Phillips. He had Arnaud Chanonier on the inside. We can go back and replay it in a little bit, I guess. But he's running again, and he's not far behind, so let's see if he's able to get himself through the field again. Gears for the follow.
Elmoon 55. Spinner there, maybe from John Tressida. Ooh, flat out sim racing car going off the track there. Yeah, just as we saw Chris Needham and Jason Haddington, I think, were both together there for a second. We've got the two Vulcan sim racers, Neil Goodacre and Dominic Forster. Just behind them in these yellow bright liveries. Let me see if I can get those up on the screen. There we go, so we can actually see which cars we're looking at. And Billy Fletcher's made his way up 11 positions so far. So
yeah, he's already in P20. Actually, he's now gaining 2 more places, putting himself in. Oh no, he lost one again. P19.
Billy Fletcher's already up to 17th, believe it or not. Starting at the back of the grid. He's gone up 12 places so far. So he's the biggest gainer so far.
is there an echo?
Hey, is there? Can't hear you.
So we got Ben Johnson just behind Kieran Smart, and Dan Compter just behind him as well. So be a nice little battle between these guys.
We just saw another position change between Meekin and Damien Shave for P23, P24, and Treasurer overtaking Williams for P27. So
Oh, yeah, you sound like you're in the toilet.
Yeah, you sound like you're miles away.
Does it?
Now you sound better.
Does it? I think I turned my head a little bit too far.
That's trendy. Is that a little manga comic thing?
But that's a nice addition to the timing screen as well, where we see the red and green for position changes.
Leon Phillips just moved himself into P18, overtaking Ollie Moller. And John Chester has actually just taken over Jonas Gillis as well. On board. Yeah, it looks like Hoogland and Arnold Shannon are actually going to have a nice little battle going on any second now, so we'll just stay on board with these guys for a second.
And in the meantime, it's still Morgan Thompson leading the way in front of Adam Southgate and Duncan Kirby. Seems to be a little stable regarding the intervals, all just under a second behind each other, but they are pulling away from P4, which is Arnold Chanier at the moment. Like Phil said, he was having a nice little battle with the Peter Hopart.
It looks like those 70 laps of practice are paying off for Morgan. Quite a considerable gap after 3 laps completed, so going to be a good 30 seconds ahead if he finishes at this pace.
Practice makes perfect.
So they say.
And again, Billy Fletcher's getting 2 more positions. He's already up in P15. Now chasing down Kenneth Engel Andreessen.
As we see Dion Phillips go around the inside at 30's corner, I believe that is.
It is.
Yeah.
And he took the position from Matthew Dambreen. So considering he was, he had that little incident into turn 1, puts himself into P17. Currently on board with Ben Carpenter, driving behind Benjamin Johnson and Kieran Smart. It's Kieran Smart going a little bit wide.
And a spin there from David Patterson.
It's the right thing of backing off instead of driving in front on the racing line.
A bit of a mistake there from Kieran Smart, just went a little bit wide. Going down Paddock Hill.
Is he going to lose another position into Surtees' corner? I don't think he does. So he holds on to P7 at the moment. And there we see another car has spun just after Surtees' corner. Holly Moore chasing with just paused. I think it was Matthew Dambreen.
Yeah, I believe that was Matthew Jambreen. Did he spin all by himself, I believe?
I think he did. I think he did. And yes, he did. He was too wide on the exit after Surtees' corner, spun the car around. And all the cars coming up did a good job avoiding him. And yeah.
Yeah, he just gets on the grass there a little bit wide. He manages to hold the brakes, let everyone go through, and then you can sort yourself out, can't you? So
yeah, did a good job. Made sure he had a safe rejoin. But I think he lost, well, at least like 10 positions, now currently P27. gaps are getting a little bit bigger. It's Morgan Thompson still leading away, but now with about 1.1 seconds in front of Adam Southgate, who has a gap of 1.5 seconds to Duncan Kirby.
I was about to say Dan Carpenter's about to go for a move here on Kieran Smart. He may still actually go for it here on the inside line. Side by side action. I think actually Dan's just had a bit of a spin there.
He had.
Looked like he ran by himself, but we can go back. That.
Didn't see any contact there, but
He just had a wiggle going into the corner, and I think he was more worried about hitting the other car rather than anything else there. So yeah, a bit unfortunate, but he'll get himself back up. Actually, Morgan and Adam Southgate aren't too far. Sorry, Morgan Thompson and Adam Southgate aren't too far away from each other at the front. So I don't know whether Morgan just made a mistake somewhere.
he did lose a little bit of time. Or Adam just had a really good lap.
The lapping just looking at the last laps, it was nothing in it. Both 123.58 and a 123.62. So the lapping pretty similar at the moment.
Behind Matthew Hodges, he's running in P9. We've got now a nice string of cars. Chris Needham, Neil Goodacre, Dominic Furster, and Billy Fletcher. Billy Fletcher again gauging positions, and he's now running in P13.
And Matt Acton's had another issue. He's slipped down a few places there.
See, Chris Needham going a little bit defensive there, just trying to make sure that he wasn't going to lose this position. He's currently holding P10, up 4 places from his starting position of P14.
Looking at the incident between Matt Acton, I think he was involved with a fellow teammate, Jess White. Going into Surtees corner, Jess White missing his braking point a little bit. And that's the reason why both dropped down a couple of positions.
It looks like qualifying didn't really matter to Billy Fletcher all that much, because now he's still up into, well, now he's up into P20, sorry, P12.
Yeah, just gained position there from Dominic Furster. And Phil, I do believe you increased the amount of fuel the cars can carry into a race.
I did, so we're now at 50%. So I believe that would be. I think from my calculations, you need to take at least 9 to 10 liters of fuel on your stop. You can't make it to the end. There's no way that you could save that amount of fuel. You're looking at 3 laps worth of, or 4 laps worth of saving fuel. So. Yeah, I'm just hoping that the strategies can start to spread out a little bit, so people aren't worried about pitting so early. We'll see. I guess we'll see today.
Yeah.
It's going to differ from track to track, whether they've got long straights and all that kind of thing, but and their altitude and everything else that goes into weighing up how much fuel you use.
Is there much difference between the car manufacturers on GT3? Are they much of a muchness?
Well, Duncan Kirby's had a massive shunt there into the wall. Just lost the back end going down Paddock Hill.
And he was running in P3.
Yeah.
It seems like he stopped on track and towed back to the pit. Maybe he had a meatball. The black with orange dot flag. Oh, and I think that was Chris Needham, who just had an incident as well. Right in front of Neil Goodacre and Billy Fletcher.
Just has a moment, just
Too much grass.
And then hits the wall.
Come off the grass, hit a bit of soft grass and went with it.
he just clipped the back end of the car and that little bit of barn coat that just sticks out there. been another crash for Jez White as well. Not another crash, but a crash for Jez White, sorry. Spins it going into Surtees. Way again though. Billy Fletcher still keeping up that fight. Finds himself in P10, up 19 positions, so a really good run there, overtaking Neil Goodacre, Dominic Forster in the last few laps. So he's got Matthew Hodges now to chase down.
Yes, he does.
And he's not too far ahead, but...
And there we see in the standings Duncan Kirby due to his pit stop and his toe dropping back positions. I think it was Jez White running in the Mercedes, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe he is. Yes, he is in the Mercedes, yeah.
Looking at the car's behavior turning into Surtees corner, I think it's something that we've discussed last week as well. A little bit of an issue with the Merc going into the lower gears downshifting.
Yeah, I think it's when you downshift into first gear, the Merc really doesn't like it, like really doesn't like it.
Tends to turn the car around, as we saw. In the meantime, we see a nice little battle between Ollie Monger and Tressler.
I'm just looking at the thing. So Duncan Kirby's gone in, obviously using his fast repair. So is it possible for him to finish the race, or is he going to have to pit again?
Where are we? Yeah,
10.
no, he should be able. I believe he should be able to now finish the race if he pits. Depends how long that kind of pit stop is. The tow period. Guess we'll have to see.
And in the meantime, it's also still the battle between Arnaud Chalonier, who, because of the incident for Duncan, is now currently in the last podium position, but Jelle Piet Hoogland still within that second behind him. Doesn't really seem to have the pace to really get on the back of Arnaud and be able to make that pass done. And he's got his teammate Benjamin Johnson behind him as well, who may be hoping that they will start to battle for position so he can close up that gap and get involved. Dion Phillips right on the back of Kenneth Andresen as well. Dion Phillips, of course, who had to fight his way through as well, but he is doing a pretty good job. Currently P13, trying to put the pressure on Kenneth Andresen for P12.
Billy Fletcher now looking to make this move on Matthew Hodges. Goes around the inside at the final corner. Gets that position done now into P8. Absolutely having a blinder Billy Fletcher right now for looks in 24.
He's got Duncan Kirby in front of him.
That's it. It's called Druids, not Surtees. That is true. It's called Druids.
Oh. Cheers, boys.
And then the one at the bottom of the hill is called Graham Hill Bend. I know that one.
I know that one too, nearly fell off there. Got a reverse camber on it.
So on board with Matthew Dambreen, who's trying to take the position from Damien Shave. He's going to have a little look on the inside. Makes the move done.
Yeah, he's got that move done.
So
Himself up into P20. There, that's the last points position as well. So hopefully he can look to build on that and well, at least save a point out of his race. I mean, we are only just over 16 minutes in the race, so just under half an hour to go. So there's plenty of action still to happen. Dion Phillips is trying to look up the inside there of Kenneth Engel Andreasen. And I've given him quite a bit of respect and room there as well, so that was good to see. But we're going to go side by side into the final corner. Kenneth's pitting, so I
think it was good that Dan Carpenter wasn't too close behind behind him right there, because he had a little bit more of an inside line coming out of that last turn.
Yeah, you don't really want to be on the inside of somebody as they're hitting, and very badly.
Yeah, and as we know, you have to be pretty careful for the pit entry white line as well, because it can give you I think it's a drive-through or stop-and-go penalty, which will be given by iRacing itself. It's a pretty harsh one. But you really have to. It would be good if you would practice your pit entry on this track. They're on board with Arnaud Chanier still having that nice little battle with the other. I do think that Benjamin Johnson is slowly catching them up.
Yeah, it looks like he is actually, so this could turn into a nice little three-way battle for the podium position. Karen Williams is going off track there. Not sure, that could have been just to let these guys through, probably. He doesn't want to get in the way. He's a good lad like that.
He took the off track for granted.
Arnold's actually started to build like a little bit of a gap there. So Ben Johnson could now actually start to put some pressure onto his teammate. Unless they're going to start working together. I don't know whether they're in the same comms room.
Yeah, we've got Dennis Meisner coming into the pit and Duncan Kirby taking 2 positions. He's going 27. The question is how much time did he really lose to his incident and towing back to the pit. Morgan, though, created a nice little gap of about 3.5 seconds to Adam Southgate, who in his turn has about 11 seconds to Arnaud Channonier. So they both got quite a clear track to just put in their laps. And in the meantime, it's Billy Fletcher who's now putting the pressure on Daniel Merchant for P7. Billy Fletcher there on the inside, going uphill onto the back straight, gets the move done, puts himself in P7.
Nice move, jumps over the inside curb. I think Daniel will be very happy with his position as well. In P8, he's gained 2 positions from P10.
He's having a good race so far.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to make any mistakes by fighting someone, especially so early in the race. I mean, we've only had 20 minutes to go, so you've still got 25 minutes left of the race. Concentrate on your own laps, get that done.
So I do think to that fuel change, or the amount of fuel the cars can carry now, we do see some more strategy coming into play with people pitting early. I'm not quite sure what happened to Duncan though, because he's showing that he's in the pit again.
Dear, I really did put a commentator's curse on it, didn't I?
Seems that way, yeah.
It was obviously my turn this week. I do apologise.
Just lost his camera communications as well, so maybe that is a disconnect from Duncan.
What I can see was between Daniel Merchant and Billy Fletcher, who were battling for P7 and P8. He went off track and went onto the grass, gravel, and into the barrier.
So as it stands currently in McLaren lockout in 1 and 2, so Morgan Thompson and Southgate, opening up quite a large lead between them. Arnold Chalinier 16 seconds behind. Yeah, Peter Hegland is on, well, he has been for most of the race actually, right on the tail of Arnold Chalinier. So not sure whether he's just waiting for his chance or whether he'll try and outdo him in the pits, but that'll unfold soon. I presume now the pit window will be around the next lap or so for the early pitters.
It is Benjamin Johnson though who closed the gap down to Jelle Pieter Hoogland, both Venomwork drivers. Yeah, I think the question will be, like you say, Mark, is who's going to be the first to pit? Who has that little bit more to try and put in that extra lap, as we saw Morgan doing last week at Spa, and therefore gained quite a lot of time on the other drivers.
Out of interest, can you control the amount of fuel you start with, or is it all default?
Yeah, you can. You could technically start with 15 litres if you wanted to be really fast for the first few laps and then be...
Yeah. I wonder if anyone does that, actually.
I would imagine not.
No. No, I don't think you will gain anything out of it. I mean, you really have to be sure that it's going to benefit. And I think at the point where it is going to benefit, maybe the pole position or the person on pole position would have a clear track and therefore maybe can push a little bit harder. Exactly, but... still, even then, I don't think it will benefit you at all trying to go for a very low fuel amount and then...
Or conversely, a heavy fuel amount, I suppose.
Yep. So, between Matthew Hodges as well, we've got a nice 3 cars. That's Dominic Furster, Neil Goodacre and Dion Phillips. And Daniel Merchant is in between them as well.
Yeah, so you can see the lap times coming down there from Neil Goodacre on the graphic on screen. So he was 5.6 seconds away from him at lap 12.
Question though, did Daniel maybe did it? Did he made a mistake somewhere? Because he was battling a bit of fraction from 7 P8 and he's now dropped back to P10.
His last lap was quite slow, it was a 1:27, so I suspect he might have caught the grass somewhere or gone wide.
I mean, I can't see anything did, but you never know, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the last lap times, he's lost over a second compared to all those around him, all lapping at 1:25. He's gone in at a late 1:26, so something's happened somewhere.
Yeah, Arnold Challinier's just now dived into the pits, so he's broken away from that battle for third place with another 2 drivers. 2 Venomworks drivers, Ben Johnson and Charlotte Petto Hoogland.
I like the old blinking lights on the beamer there.
Well, then you had to see last week when there were like...
Oh, I saw a few of them come in, didn't they?
Yeah, 5 or 6 came in and the lights were blinking at the same point, so... But funny to watch. So, I think pretty much the top 10 still have to make their pit stop though.
Yep, Arnold Chalinier is the first one who were in the top 10 to take his official inverted commas pit stop. Be interesting to see how Adam Southgate. Oh, he went back in. You said, didn't he? Thinking about it. So.
No, that was Duncan. No, that was
Duncan Kirby. Sorry,
no, but he was battling for position with Benjamin Johnson and Jelle Pieter Hoogland, or Jelle Pieter Hoogland and Benjamin Johnson.
So yeah,
it's going to be interesting how he's going to come out of that one.
Yeah, we saw that Duncan just like touch on the grass and like ruin the whole front end of your car, didn't it?
Yeah, trying to go for a scenic route doesn't help with our racing. And we do have one fast repair, sorry Phil. And of course it was Duncan's second incident, so yeah, all the repair time he now has, he has to take if he wants to go out on track again.
Kieran Smart's gone into the pit. I suspect you start seeing them all start creeping in now.
Yeah, and John Tressida has also gone into the pits as well. So, I think with this extra fuel, I think it is really actually spreading out the pits. So that's good. It's good to see.
What does that equate to laps wise? Is it 2 or 3 laps extra fuel or something you put in? Or?
Yeah, I think it was 3 to 4 extra laps.
Is it? Obviously, that in theory opens the window because I think in GTEs we're finding a lot of them the window is so narrow that they all ended up pitting at the same time, didn't they?
Exactly, yeah. Jez White just made a move on David Patterson for P27.
And Billy Fletcher, though, due to some people pitting early in P5. So we gained, what, 24 positions?
Hoogland's now into the pits. So we're going to have to keep an eye on Shannonay. See whereabouts he comes, or crosses the line in comparison to Hoogland.
About 19-20 seconds, so it'll be quite close.
Well, Arnaud Channonnier now going through the last turn on track, coming onto the main straight. And where is Benjamin Johnson? I think Benjamin Johnson came out of the pit.
And Hoogland's done the jump. There's actually quite a bit of a gap there. There's what, 2.8 seconds, 2.7 seconds. So we're just waiting for to get up to speed, and then we should exactly what the gap is. So yeah, it's sitting at 2.8 seconds at the moment. So wise move to actually stay out, I would guess.
Well, that's what we saw Morgan Thompson doing last week at Spa, staying one more lap out, and he gained about 3.5 seconds in the end on track. So, like you say, a really good decision to stay out and pit one lap later than Arnaud.
Acton going for the inside line at the final corner. That's it. Meakin.
Adam Southgate's gone into the pit along with Ben Johnson.
That's it, the leader Morgan Thompson's still running, still doing his laps, and looking at the lap times he's doing it pretty consistent as well.
Yeah, 15 minutes to go as well, so be interesting to see when he needs to pit. I was kind of basing it on they could run for around about half an hour.
Yeah.
The drivers up on screen, the video cameras on board with Billy Fletcher as he goes around 30s, as we've had it pointed out.
No, it's Druids.
No, Druids, it was 30s. Oh, damn it.
And we've got Morgan Thompson now coming into the pit while we are watching at Billy Fletcher. For Luxim 24, if I'm correct. Smart though, running in P7, doing a good job so far.
Actually just missed a few out. No, so that was when Hoogland passed Ben Johnson for P3. Again, my bad.
But Benjamin Johnson and Jelle Pieter Heuvelot still pretty close behind each other. Arnaud Channonnier isn't that far back though.
Well, if they get tangled up, it might slow them down between them and give Arnaud a chance to close the gap even more.
Yeah, I mean, you only need to just get under a second, and there you go. He's just hit. Yeah. He's hit around about a second now, so it only takes a few straights, and then you can start pulling yourself back up into that kind of attacking zone again. Daniel Merchant is looking for a move on Dominic Forster.
Nice little cluster of manufacturers there. We've got McLaren still first and second, then 4 Beamers, and then 4 Ferraris.
Yeah, that is a bit random.
Being in the pits as well. Dropping a couple of positions.
Just scrolling through, I believe everyone has gone into the pit.
Yep, that is everybody now. Everyone's completed their one mandatory pit stop. Got some fuel on board.
Coming through two-thirds, just over two-thirds of the race.
What has happened with Arnaud Chalonier?
Oh, what has happened with Arnaud Chalonier?
I don't actually see him, so I'm not quite sure if he had an incident or he had sort of an internet connection issue.
I think he might have had an internet connection issue because his video has frozen as well for me on my other PC.
He had an internet connection issue because I could see him going around track normally and then all of a sudden blinked out, so...
That is a massive shame. He was running really well there.
Yeah, he may even have the pace to catch back up with Jelle Piet Hoogland, Benjamin Johnson, so that's really unfortunate for Arnaud. It puts Billy Fletcher though in P5 now, for sure. And we're looking at Matthew Dambreen again, fighting for position with Dave Meekin. Another fight we see on track is between Daniel Merchant and Dominic Förster.
It's actually getting pretty close. 0.2 of a second separating these cars.
And there we get the confirmation Arnaud Chalonier received throughput fell to an acceptable level, so that's a definite internet connection issue.
Oh, that sucks for Arnaud.
Yeah, he had such a great race. I mean, his qualifying, putting himself in P3, really, really good. Oh, and there we
Dominic
see...
Forster, he's just made a massive mistake there, touching the grass. That lets Daniel Merchant through for the Flower Sim Sports racing team in his Merc. It's dropped Dominic Forster that position back. Still up 6 places from where he started though, so not exactly a bad race for him. Ooh, Chris Needham. What happened to Chris Needham?
Seeing kitty litter.
Yeah, he just had another... Well, I see one of the flat-out SimSport Ferraris being on his inside.
Ooh, just got nudged.
Sector.
Yeah,
Got tapped.
I think he thought the move was completed, but I don't... I think probably it's give a little bit more room there on the inside just to make sure that the pass was made.
What are the current fastest lap times, Phil?
Shall we say look?
I would say we shall.
Is there a graphic for that? Is there?
What? You're asking Phil if he has a graphic for it?
Well, a graphic for everything. What graphics do you want to see?
So that is a 123.2 if I'm reading that correctly.
Might have to look at a different colour there. I'm struggling to see that. Yeah, it's a
123.2. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to change the background of that grey bit to black. I think that's what I need to do, and then that'll make it a little bit easier to read.
Yes. But in the meantime, the battle between the two Venomworks drivers again. Although, I say again, last week it was just Johnson and Jelle Piet Hoogland. This week it's Jelle Piet Hoogland and Benjamin Johnson.
Dennis Meisner's also having a nice little battle with Dave Meekin, who actually makes a bit of a mistake there, goes off on the... So Dennis Meisner gains himself a position, puts himself up into P17.
Great job though by David Meekin to keep it sort of straight line and coming back on track, because it is part of the track where you can lose it quite easily.
Yeah, and he's new to iRacing as well, so yeah, to see him not like spin out and just kind of lose himself there is good to see.
And just for viewer's sake, Phil, can you put up the intervals again? Go. We see Matt Acton in the pit again. just coming out of the pit. And he's got Kieran Smart right behind him, but I don't think that's for position. He's getting a blue flag and he's letting Kieran Smart through.
Dominic Forster's going for the inside line, going up to Paddock Hill on Daniel Merchant. I'm not sure he's going to get that move done. I think, no, he may get the move done. He's sticking on the inside.
Great battle between the both of them.
Yeah, 100%.
Daniel Merchant keeping the room there for Dominic to get the move done. So great respect shown there. Let's see if Daniel Merchant can return the favor and try to get position back again.
It's been there for Miles Owens. Not what he wanted and not the corner, because it's a very difficult corner to back yourself out of there if there's if there's no gap. There obviously was a gap there for him, so well there. Go back on this battle with Dominic Forster and Daniel Merchant, who's actually that move stuck from Paddock Hill.
It has. But Daniel's still close behind, so Daniel had to back out there a little bit.
Looked like he was thinking about it.
It's a risky move though, going on the inside there, but he backed out, still behind him. He's having a good run on the main straight there, right on the back of him, so let's see if he does return the favor by putting it on the inside of Dominic Forster. He's going for it.
He's going for it. He gets that move done. I think Dominic backed out quite early, saw the move come in. So I need to have deja vu here. I think maybe I did that a minute ago.
But right behind him though, it's Neil Goodacre, who, because of that battle, is closing down that gap and could potentially gain 2 places if
But
he plays this right.
Meanwhile, we've got Billy Fletcher having a battle with Ben Johnson, just 2 tenths off, which also puts him 7 tenths off Yellow Peter Hoopman. So
Yeah.
That is a drive and a half, 24 places up.
sure is.
So I reckon we've got about 2 laps to go. No, sorry, I'm wrong. We've got more. We're on 40 minutes on the way.
4 laps.
Flashing the lights to back marker. Oh, this is going to be an interesting battle, though. This is going to be an interesting battle. Billy Fletcher on the outside there of Druids. A little bit of a wiggle on the braking.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of a wiggle on the braking, yeah. That probably put the move off there and couldn't make it.
I think Yellow Peter Hoogland is all but happy seeing this battle getting on. Maybe he can sort of create a little bit of a gap. Oh, Billy Fletcher having a good run going uphill. And on the draft again, I think you can fit a piece of paper in between them.
Yeah, that was
almost pushing him.
Stuff, yeah.
Still on the outside though. Backing out. Tucking him behind. Oh, and I think there was a little bit of a touch. Are we gonna see it? Yes, we are.
Oh, a little bit of a mistake there. A little bit of a mistake there from Ben Johnson. He's gone a little bit wide. Yeah, he's let Billy Fletcher through now. So Billy moves into P4 with Ben Johnson slipping into P5.
I must say though, Benjamin Johnson was flashing his lights after coming back on track. So if that may was because of that little touch of Billy Fletcher we've seen, we don't know. But Billy's got P4. And there was no contact when Benjamin was off track. So Billy Fletcher now trying to close that gap down to Yellow Peter Hoogland. In the meantime, there's been a penalty given to Dennis Meisner for causing a collision. So he's going to have a drive-through.
Daniel Merchant's actually lost another place. Oh, there's been contact. We have contact.
And that was between Daniel Merchant and Neil Goodacre. Yeah, well. We can say all we want, but that's what we got race control for.
Yeah, exactly. For us to
So-
decide who's really at fault there, to be honest. So
Yeah,
we'll leave that to them.
exactly.
You can have an opinion. Don't be shy.
No, I don't like opinions.
No.
Ha ha ha. Nothing wrong. Get a bit of controversy going.
Inter-team battle going on between Miles Owens and Matt Acton at the moment as well.
Yes, Billy Fletcher's struggling to close that gap under a second at the moment.
Miles Owens goes a little bit wide there. Probably going to have to let Matt Acton come through here.
In the meantime, because of that incident between Daniel Merchant and Dominic Forster, we've got Dan Carpenter about 3/10 behind Daniel Merchant as well. So Dan Carpenter is
Billy Fletcher instant.
nope. He
No.
came back.
Oh,
may,
he came back.
he
It's
may have a little bit of a
off track.
thingy, but still continuing. And there we see the battle for P10 between Daniel Merchant and Dan Carpenter. Daniel Merchant trying to take the defensive line. Mercedes versus the Ferrari.
And Morgan Thompson just starting his 32nd lap, and it will be the last lap. Got commanding lead, 12 seconds over Adam Southgate. So it's as you were from quali, really. Top
Yeah,
two.
I mean Morgan also. I think Morgan gained about 2-3 seconds as well because he was stopping a lap later than. Oh, we see Billy Fletcher
Oh,
going wide.
Yeah, Billy Fletcher has gone massively wide there. He's probably going to lose another position. He's managed to held on.
does.
He's held on to the car though. Like, really well done there by Billy.
But he's got some dirt on his tires, so he has to be careful for at least a couple of corners. And Kieran Smart seeing it happen in front of him as well. And Kieran Smart is in P6, so
Oh,
Before, I believe it was Dan Carpenter. See how, see Billy, see if he's annoyed.
yeah. Well, I think seeing him shaking his head says enough, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I will be gutted as hell having that happen, trying to gain that last position.
I'll just
Or
be happy
podium
you've made
position.
24 places up.
Well, it's still a very, very good race by Billy, but yeah.
And Morgan is just crossing the line.
So we finished the race. Morgan Thompson finished the race, and I will gonna say that in that last lap we also have a black flag penalty for Daniel Merchant causing a collision. So Adam Southgate finishing in P2. And now we're waiting on Jelle Pieter Hoogland. Coming onto the main straight. There we go, finishing in P3. So well done to Jelle Pieter Hoogland. Benjamin Johnson in P4. And then Billy Fletcher, unfortunately due to that little incident, finishing in P5. Kieran Smart with a good race, finishing in P6. Dion Phillips still did a good job as well, knowing he went off track at turn 1, still finishing in P7.
Balls to cross the line in P9. And P8. Neil Goodacre just coming around the final corner now, finishes in P10. And I've had a better race this week as well, finishing in P11, so he was outside of the points in, I think, 23rd last week. Remember he serves me right?
Outside of the points, how?
Outside of the points, as in, because he was 23rd and we only gave him
20.
points.
All right, sorry.
20.
Yeah, sorry.
Everyone's across the line.
Everyone is.
I'm not quite sure if Dan Carpenter finished the race.
Yeah, he's down in P22, so I think he did have a spin on that last lap.
Yeah, he had that contact with Daniel Merchant there in the last turn, I believe.
Okay. That will be what that was for. Right, okay, so we can now bring it over to the results. They are not the results. What's going on there? There we go.
Right. Okay, so win number 2 out of 2 for Morgan Thompson, followed by Adam Southgate, both for CXR Project Black. Yele Hogland and Ben Johnson, both for the Venomworks teams, 3rd and 4th. Billy Fletcher in 5th. Kieran Smart 6th. Dion Phillips in 7th. Matthew Hodges 8th. Dominic Forster in 9th. Neil Goodacre 10th. Kenneth Andreas 11th. Daniel Merchant 12th. Jason Haddington in 13th. Matthew Dambarine in 14th. David Beakin 15th. Chris Needham 16th. Matt Acton 17th. Miles Owen 18th. Ollie Marler in 19th. Tony Gillis in 20th. Be another page with a bit of luck.
There is another page. I'm sorry, I was just trying to do the other points. Has it gone over to the other page?
Dennis Meisner 21st, Dan Carter 22nd, Kieran Williams 23rd, David Patterson 24th, Anil Chenio after a cracking 3/4 of a race, unfortunate to disconnect in 25th, Damien Shave 26th, John Tressider, is that how you pronounce it? Not sure. 27th, Jez White 28th, and Duncan Kirby, commentator's curse from myself, bringing up the rear in 29th.
And would you believe it? The points are not working. After all that. Actually, Phil, maybe they are. Maybe they are. Hang on 1 second.
I think you just jinxed it.
Right. Let me just hide that for us. See what happens when I press this. No. Hang on. We may get there. Oh, hey. I think we're there, boys.
Go on, Ruben.
Yes, we are. So it's Morgan Thompson still leading the championship with 50 points. And then we've got Adam Southgate with 44 points, so only 6 points behind. Jelle Pieter Hoogland with 40 points. Ben Johnson in P4 with 36. Billy Fletcher with 32 points, P5. Kieran Smart, 30 points, P6. Dion Phillips with 28 points. Matthew Hodges, 26. Dominic Forster 24, Neil Goodacre 22, Kenneth Andreasen 20 points, Daniel Merchant 18 points, Jason Haddington 16, Matthew Dambreen 14, David Meakin 12, Chris Needham 10, Matt Acton 8, Miles Owen 6, Ollie Marler 4, and Jonas Gillis with 2 points. And depending on the finishing positions last week, we've got anybody else? No, and the rest, Duncan Kirby, Dan Carpenter, Arnaud Chanonier, Dennis Meisner, John Tressider, Damien Chafe, Jess White, Dave Pedersen, and Kieran Williams all on 0
Actually,
points.
I'm going to say that, I mean, these are all provisional. They aren't the actual points because looking through it, Duncan Kirby finishing P20th last week, so at least has 1 point. It's a bit of a hit and miss on whether this point system is actually going to work on the actual stream. It's just the amount of problems that I have with this. Yeah, we will get it sorted one year.
Plus
2025.
Race control will give out penalties during the race, but there also could be incidents that will be reviewed after the race, which could have an effect on the standings as well. Yeah. So these are, like you say, provisional points.
Always provisional from after the race. Where are we next week?
Nürburgring, I think, aren't we?
We are, yeah, I think we are at the Nürburgring GP track. Look at the calendar to fully make sure. Yeah, we are Nürburgring Bezweck track, 29th of July, and then the following week we are at Zandvoort. So that'll be a nice little treat for Ruben. I don't think we've ever run at Zandvoort.
No, we didn't. Nope. But does that mean that I can talk in Dutch though?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
They might understand you more if you speak in Dutch. You never know.
Right. I'll keep it nice inside here on the chat. No, it's yeah. I think it's a nice addition to the calendar, putting in Zandvoort. As we, like you say, we haven't run that before in any of the leagues we've done so far. So
no, exactly.
Nice to have a little change.
Yeah, lucky that. So thank you everyone for watching. Cheers for the follows. Cheers for the subscriptions. I think it was actually you, Ruben, who subscribed before.
Yeah, I did.
So, yeah, cheers to Ruben and Mark in commentary. Cheers to Neil and Aaron over in race control as well. And cheers to all the drivers as well. We'll catch you next week. And well, I'm going to follow it up with the viewers. And cheers to everybody who viewed and watched the race today. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week, same time, 8:15. for the Nürburgring round 3. Not the Nordschleife. We haven't got all day. Only got 45 minutes. We won't have more than 2 laps. Yeah, so we'll catch you next Wednesday evening. Yeah, same time. Cheers for watching, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Going on.